Okay. Hey guys, welcome back. This is 3 Digimon Digital Monsters Season 1, Episode 28. This is about Episode 27 of Season 1. Now, before I start talking about it, I want to thank you for all your support with the channel, stuff like that. And I got an extra subscriber to my channel again, so I got 43 subscribers now, so I just want to get that out of the way as well. And and now I'll just get into the actual storyline of the episode. But first, I just want to mention, if you guys see all this stuff in the background here, just ignore it. It's stuff that has to do with where I'm recording right now and stuff. I just thought I'd get that out of the way also. And now I'll get into the actual story of the episode. This is History of Digimon Digital Monsters Season 1, Episode 28 of my show, but it's about Episode 27. Now, I'll just explain what this episode is called in the English dub. It's called The Gateway to Home. Now, basically what happens is in the episode, Joe is, Goemon's in the water, and Joe's sticking one of the bags that he got in episode 24 of my show, which was about episode 23, where he was in the restaurant with Matt and stuff, and tries to give it to Mimi and stuff like that. And then what happens is after that, Mimi is saying that Joe is saying that he's glad that he took some of the bags from the restaurant, and then Mimi's like, she's not complaining that she's just a little depressed kind of thing. She's saying that now that my Otismon is chasing them, they've gotta keep running like some crazy shoppers at the mall and stuff like that, which is really, it's funny and stuff like that, guys. I just had to get that out of the way. And what happens is after that, Izzy tells them that Jedi showed up and he wants to talk to them, and Ty's wondering what he wants to talk to them about, and then he's saying that he's got some good news and some bad news. And he's asking them which they wanted to hear first, and then Joe's saying to save the good news for last. Save the bad news for last. Because he hates being depressed. Say the good news for last because he hates being depressed and stuff, which is kind of weird and stuff. He wanted to tell him the bad news. Okay, so I'll just explain to you guys what the good news and bad news is, what he meant. Okay, what the good news basically is he tells them that another kid will be joining their group. Now, this is kind of what I meant when I said with Kari, when I did her character bio during the video for episode 22 of my show, but about episode 21, where I said she'd be the main focus of the arc. This is kind of what I meant. And Ty's asking Jenna to tell him something, what he knows about this kid, like what's his or her name, but like I said, Kari is a child and stuff. And then he said that he doesn't know the name of the child, but he does know the location, which is Japan. And then Gatomon is wondering where Japan is, and then Agumon is saying that Japan's an island in the far east section of the world, and then Izzy is saying that Agumon and Tai were transported to Japan in Heightened View Terrace and Odaiba when their two worlds kind of converged and stuff like that, and then Joe's saying if they ever converge again, maybe they'll get to go home and stuff like that, which is kind of true. They do actually get to go home, but that's not until the end of the 28th episode of Season 1. I just thought I'd get that out of the way, which will probably be the 29th episode of my show also. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And Jenna is saying to them that he tells them to always remember that they're the Digidestined, and as long as they're not together, the world will be unbalanced and everything will go like wacko and stuff like that, which is kind of funny. And he tells them that the good news with the child, about the other child joining the group, but the good news now he's going to the bad news. Now what the bad news basically is, he says that Myotismon has heard of the child as well, and he and his armies are preparing to go to the human world to look for the child. And if he gets his hands on the child first, then both their worlds are doomed and stuff. Now, now, as I said, this is also what I meant when I said that Kari would be the main focus, but I'll explain later when I get to the end of to the 28th episode, which will probably be episode 29 of my show. Wanted to get that out of the way again and stuff. Now, I'll just keep going with it. Then I said that if Myotismon gets his hands on the 8th child, then both their worlds are basically doomed. And then Ty's saying that they need some spies on the inside. And then there's this little funny scene where where Devidramon is having this Digimon with sunglasses train these other little Digimon to be a part of his army and fight and stuff. And then what happens is, now I'll just explain who the little Digimon that with the sunglasses is. His name is Nanimon, basically, which is kind of a really kind of weird name for a Digimon and stuff. And when his character bio shows up, Devidramon says that Nanimon is an invader Digimon, and he tells him what he really thought about his sunglasses, but he can't because his power punch attack was flat. Now power punch is, I'm guessing, is a special attack and stuff. Sorry about that. And what happens after that is Devidramon is saying to Nanimon that he knows that they can talk the talk, but can you like walk the walk and stuff, and he trains them. And then Agumon and Palmon show up in these really weird disguises and stuff. So he says that their names are Agumon and Fletcher Palmon, and they start working out with the group and stuff. And then Devidramon goes to where Myotismon is, and he's telling him that he's got some good news to report. The soldiers are ready to go and they're ready to move out. And Myotismon's asking if they're worthy of him and stuff. And he says yes. And then there's this little laugh in the background. And then there's this voice saying that her a bunch of helpless sea slugs. If they want her opinion. Now I'll just explain who the Digimon is. Her name's Gatomon. Now if you remember when I did the character bio for Kari during the video for episode 22 of my show, which was about episode 21, I stated that Gatomon was Kari's Digimon partner. Now in my personal opinion, guys, Gatomon may be on Myotismon's side, but in my personal opinion, she's not really evil, she's just mixed up and stuff. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that. What I basically mean by that when I say mixed up is basically she grew up all alone and not knowing about who she was waiting for and stuff like that. And that also kind of has to do with the other Digimon as well. I'll explain when I get to episode 45 of the Dark Master Saga. And I'll continue talking about that when I get to the 34th episode of this arc. I just thought I'd get that out of the way also. So when I get to episode 34, I'll explain more about that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way for you. Oh, and Gatomon's special attack in this first season is what's called Lightning Paw, which is basically, she throws her fist at her opponent and punches them, basically. And if you're wondering if she's a rookie Digimon, she's not. She's actually a champion level Digimon and stuff. I just thought I'd get that out of the way also. And then she's asking, where did Digimon find those, of the sea slugs anyway? And then Digimon is saying that she could do better, and she's saying that she could with her paws tied, and then Myotismon is telling Gatomon not to worry about the waste of time with her time with Devidramon, and he's wondering if she did what he asked her to do and stuff, and she's saying yes for his instructions. She searched and found the most ferocious Digimon she could find and stuff. And after that, she said that that he knew he could count on Gatomon, and he looks forward to like meeting them and stuff. And then basically what happens is they get dismissed from my Otismon's office, and because one of the Bakamons that there said that they prepared the room and it's ready for his inspection, so he tells them to dismiss them. And then what happens after that is they go into the underground version of his castle, and the Bakamon is asking him what the room is for, and he says that legend tells of the Hollow Gate, which will act as the passageway, as the doorway between both the human and digital worlds and stuff. And also, after that, what happens is he says that the cards are no longer a mystery to him, and now it goes back, and then it goes back to where Nanimon is with the Digimon and the goofy disguises versions of Agumon and Palmon, and they say that then a different Sukamon and Shumon are saying that they gotta stop the Nanimon, and and Sukamon knows how to do it. He was a soldier before. I'm not sure if it's the same Sukamon from my video about episode 10, which was episode 11 of my show, but about episode 10. I'm not sure if that was the same one. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, though. And then basically what happens is he says that he was a soldier with Nanimon as well, and he likes to drink soda, but then the bubbles, they like go straight to his head and make them act all silly. And once the bubbles go straight to his head, he'll become so silly that he'll let them do whatever they want. And Agumon's wondering, Palmon's wondering, even let us escape. And then one of the Numenons is saying that one of them should go because he wouldn't miss one of them. And one of the others is saying that after that, Gatomon would have feed him food and stuff. And he grabbed the paws and poured it down his mouth himself. So he goes to where the storage area with the sodas is, and then what happens is, after that, he grabs a couple of the sodas, he's got a little smile, weird smile on his face, where he's saying, "Diddy, get for that idiot!" And then he drops the soda bottles down out the window with the parachutes and stuff, and then Nanimon starts drinking them, and then after that he becomes so hyperventilated and starts dancing and acting all kooky and stuff like that. He says, "Love that soda," and then he falls down, and that's just so funny. Oh my god! And then what happens is Agumon and Palmon show up, and they tell Ty and the others that they're sorry for waiting but they had a big bruiser on their head. And then Jedi is saying that his transmission is useless inside the castle, so they're on their own. And Ty's saying to leave it to them, and he says he hopes so because he gotta stop my Otismon from finding a child protector ally in Japan and stuff. And then after that, there's another little scene where they come across, and then after that, my Otismon uses the cards, and then it goes, and they're inside the castle, and they have a little bit of a misadventure finding the place, and then Izzy's saying that he figured that my Otismon set up these optical illusions to deter them from finding the gate and stuff. And he says, and then Ty says that it's probably worked because they're pretty much far more lost than they expected. And then they see these shadows of these Digimon, and what happens is after that, they follow them to where they're going. And then what happens is after that, they come across the gate and stuff. And what happens after that is, when my Otismon sees them, he's telling Devidramon to handle these group of hooligans because he's got a better job to do. And then what happens is after that, he has Devidramon as Nanimon and his troops try to fight them. But when Agumon and the others digivolve to their champion forms, Nanimon backs out and resigns from his job as a teacher, trainer, and then And then he says that when it comes to having his pancake, he's out of here. And if Devidramon doesn't believe him, he's got to check the fine print of his contract. And then what happens is, and then TK is telling Devidramon just to admit that he picked the wrong side and stuff. And then what happens is, no, he says no. And then Gatomon shows back up and he says that, and she said that they haven't dealt with her yet. And when they start running away and start to get to the gate, she says, I don't think so. Then she uses this little tail ring, this little ring that she has on her tail to cause some of the statues to come to life. Now, I'll just explain what the statue-like things are called. They're actually a bit of Digimon called Devidramons. They're like guardians of the gate and stuff like that. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And then after that, what happens is they try to get past the Devidramon, and then Ty's crest of courage glows, and then what happens is it goes to the scene where they're digivolving to the ultimate level, and Greymon digivolves to Metal Greymon to fight. But what happens is he gets rid of some of the Devidramon, and he goes back to Koromon, and then they start running toward the gate, and Patamon is playing around with Devidramon on the leg when they're in the gate, but then Gatomon swipes her claw at him, and she tells them that they're too late, she'll miss them in Japan and stuff, and then she says goodbye, and the door, like, slams on Ty's face, and he's like, he starts banging on it, and like, he says, open up, it can't be, and that's basically where the episode stops. So if you guys like this video on YouTube, just please give it the real best you guys can, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep it digital!